The Midnight Dance by CartoonNerd12, Chapter 14. By the next day, the afternoon came much quicker for the princesses than they thought. They agreed to wait for the guys in their room when they would come to meet them. It was almost 2, and they started to wonder where they were at. Then, out of nowhere, Discord popped in with the Colts and Dragon, each wearing a prince's get-up. Flash was wearing a dark blue suit with a white collar. Discord was wearing a black and grey outfit, brown pants, black boots, red cape, and a red hunting hat. Fancy Pants was wearing a white royal-like jacket, red pants with a yellow stripe, golden belt, and black boots. Sorin wore a white turban and clothing in brown Arab-style shoes. Cheese was wearing a dark grey blouse and pants, brown sweater, red belt, dark brown gloves and boots. And Spike wore a light green outfit with lily pad design.
"What are you guys wearing?"
Rainbow pointed out. "Wasn't my idea," Spike said as he and the stallions looked over at Discord.
"Oh, look!" Discord snapped his fingers. "Now you're dressed up too."
Sure enough, Twilight was wearing a golden yellow off-the-shoulder ball gown, long yellow opera gloves with matching pumps. Fluttershy was wearing a gold tiara and gold necklace to an off-the-shoulder dress. Rarity wore a sparkling light blue petticoat dress with rounded sleeves, hair in an updo style with a light blue headband, light blue opera gloves, black choker and glass slippers. Rainbow had on a Bedler outfit that had a bandeau style off-the-shoulder top and billowed pants of light blue. Pinky wore a winter dress with a pink cloak and hat, and Applejack was wearing a green ball gown with lily pad designs. "Discord, change us back!" Twilight commanded.
"Oh, very well,"
he snapped, and their attire was gone. Fluttershy went to him and kissed his cheek. "I liked it," she whispers in his ear.
He gave her a grin. "I knew you would."
"So, what are we waiting for?" Pinky jumped. "Let's go!"
"As you wish."
Discord snapped again, and they were blinded by a white flash, and the next they knew, they were in a small town of ponies, going in and out of wooden houses, or moving around in the marketplace and the vendors selling stuff. The girls looked, in awe of the quaint village, and each took different ways of leaving a trail of dust. The boys each called out their mare's name and took off after them. Cheese finally caught up to the bouncing pink princess as she made it to a cake-like building that she heard other people call Sugar Cube Corner. She went to the counter, countlessly ringing the bell. A blue mare with pink icing-like hair came up to take the bell away, and faced the princess, even though she didn't know who she was. "May I help you?" "Oh, right. Sorry, I just really liked your bell."
"That's nice.
My name is Cupcake, or Mrs. Cake if you'd like. Now, what can I get you?" Pinky looked over the glass and pressed her face to it. "Everything looks so super yummy that I couldn't choose."
"What about the chocolate cupcake? That looks good enough to eat."
Cheese pointed out. That would go well with a chocolate chip cookie, or a chocolate cake, chocolate pudding, chocolate fudge, chocolate shake, chocolate truffles, chocolate muffins, chocolate sticks." They kept blabbering on about different chocolate combinations that eventually all just got to them. Discord was portraying as a grey unicorn stallion as he was searching relentlessly for the butter-coloured Pegasus that was way ahead of him.
"How hard is it to find a beautiful princess in a town this size?"
he asked himself. Suddenly he heard a haunting voice he recognised all too well, as he followed the enchanting voice as it got louder to where she was at. Fluttershy was in a meadow near the ever-free forest, and was surrounded by all sorts of animals, ranging from birds, mice, squirrels, and even a bear. She was singing to them. He couldn't help but smile, and went towards her. When she saw him, however, she gave a small gasp and said, "Oh, hello. Can I help you with something?" She didn't even recognise him. Of course, he was in disguise after all, but still, it amused him that she would think of him as a stranger. So he decided to play along.
Yes."
He used a regular stallion's voice, making sure there wasn't a hint of the spirit's original voice.
"I could not help admire you from afar, as you are quite beautiful. Perhaps you would like to go out sometime?"
She was taken aback for a moment. Then she frowned, saying, "I'm sorry, but I'm seeing someone at the moment. I don't think he'll take kindly if he saw you asking me out, so it would be best if you go."
But am I not handsome? Surely some pony like you would have a handsome stallion go with that beauty of yours.
Sorry, even if you are good looking, you could never be as handsome as him.
This intrigued him, so he kept on asking her, "Oh, is he a Pegasus?
No, but he does have wings.
Is he a unicorn?
No, but he does have magic.
Is he an earth pony?
Far from it. He is a very special creature."
He sounds hideous.
She gasped and shouted in anger, "How dare you! I'll have you know he's the sweetest, most charming being I have ever known. Why, if he was here right now, he would give you a piece of his mind. Now, please go, or you'll have to face my wrath."
He started laughing in his normal voice, which she took notice of right away.
Wait, that laugh?
That was priceless! Now please go, or you'll have to face my wrath. Now I know why I fell for you all this time. You're every bit as chaotic as I am.
Discord? It was you all along?
Sorry for the deception, sweetie. But when you didn't figure it was me, at first I wanted to see how you would react if an attractive stallion asked you out.
You were testing me?
Somewhat. Although I'm not going to lie, I would have been more than upset if you had accepted the offer. But I just knew you would pull through. I have to thank you.
Thank me?
You could have had your pick of any cult, yet you chose me, Fluttershy. Why is that?
She began blushing. Oh, well, I could never talk to any cult mainly because I was afraid to. But when you were released, you helped me feel braver, and I can talk to you without fear getting in the way. Now, I have to ask you something. Do you really think of yourself as hideous?
Most days. Especially the days I look in the mirror that cracks on me.
Is that why you still have the disguise on?
Well, we are close to the town, and we can't risk ponies seeing me, or else they might run away in fear. And that's one of the things I find fascinating about you. You never ran away from me when I got out. You're all I have in this world.
He turned his head away, but felt a hoof under his chin, moving him to face her, with those teal eyes that were filled with tears of joy. I need you, just as you need me. I will always pledge my heart to you, because I know you'll keep it safe. He had his own tears welling up by her words.
And I pledge my heart to you, knowing you'll keep it safe.
They sealed that oath with a kiss. Rarity and Fancy walked around, taking in the sights of the village. It is quite simple, isn't it?
She asked. Charmingly rustic from what I see.
He told her. All this place needs is a fashion boutique, and it would be perfect. The townsfolk are really so lucky, having freedom wherever they go.
I am sure their life isn't easy either.
The moment he said that, they saw a family of a stallion, mare, and a filly having to board up a house and put a for sale sign up. They picked up what things they could carry and were gone. Rarity felt her heart breaking and was feeling sorry for the family. Oh, she put her hoof to her heart as she thought how, as a princess, she had it all, and because of the dilemma of having to marry a prince, she had almost forgotten that there were some ponies that had it far worse than she did.
Are you all right?
Fancy looked on with concern. Yes, I've been only thinking of myself for the past couple of weeks, forgetting that some of my subjects have to deal with worse problems than an arranged marriage.
Are you going to do something about it?
Indeed I am. When I get back, I am starting a fund for foreclosure houses. No pony deserves to be homeless or be forced to move. Perhaps I was wrong about the freedom. While it is true my ponies have the right to marry whoever they like, We're unlike me at the moment, but they are forced to work hard just to make sure they have enough bits for food and shelter.
Rarity, you must know. There is another reason why I told you we couldn't be together at first. It was because I needed the job as head butler, or else, if your mother had found out, and I would have gotten fired, I wouldn't have been able to see you again.
Oh, darling, I wish you had told me that a lot sooner, because I would have made sure Mother couldn't do that to you.
But that's just it. I didn't want you to help me when you had your own problems as it was. I couldn't burden you with the fact that it's my job, as the family's servant, to look after you.
You can be too chivalrous, you know, and I can be too proper as well. I think it's about time we both loosened up a little. She smiled. He returned the smile as they kept walking. Twilight and Flash took in the sights until something caught Twilight's eye that made her hyped up. Before her was a treehouse that had a sign saying it was the Golden Oak Library. She rushed into the place with Flash trailing right behind her. When walking in, she saw all kinds of books in a pile on the floor. Some were just lying there, and others were in a messy order on the bookshelves. Even some of the shelves was bare. Twilight could not believe the condition of this fine library and started to wonder who was responsible for it. She called out, "Hello? Any pony here?" Suddenly there was a bump on the upper floor, with a voice saying, "Guarding!" A grey Pegasus with bubbles for a cutie mark and yellow lopsided eyes started wobblingly flying down to them. As she did, she kept bumping into things and knocking more books down. She crash-landed at their feet and gave out a friendly greeting. "Hey, name's Derpy Hooves." Twilight reached out her hoof to help her up. "Nice to meet you. My name is Twilight Sparkle, and this is
Flash Sentry,"
Flash said as he took Derpy's hoof to shake. "Pleased to meet you." Twilight questioned, "Are you the one in charge of the library?"
"Yep, just me and me alone."
"Well, it seems this place could use some help."
"That would be great. It's kinda hard where these books should go on the shelf."
"Oh, well, I'm sure I can figure something out."
"You sure you don't mind?"
Derpy asks. "I'm sure." The princess smirked, knowing all too well she loved organising just about anything.
"Great, I have to go to the market, so feel free to do whatever's necessary to get this place cleaned up."
"You can count on me," saluted Twilight.
"And me," Flash also saluted.
"I'll be back soon. See ya." She left out of the door. Twilight turned to Flash. "You don't have to stick around if you don't want to."
"But I do want to. Besides, there's so many books you're gonna need all the extra hooves you can get."
She smiled sweetly at him and then kissed his cheek, much to his surprise. "Thank you. Let's get to work." They started looking over books to shelf. Rainbow and Soren were up high in the sky looking at Ponyville from an above angle. The blue Pegasus saw so much activity going on that Rainbow even caught a few of her sisters going about with their colts. They saw the schoolyard full of fillies and young colts. One of the colts was small and white, having brown hair and a brown spot over his eye. He spotted them and gave a wave. The couple returned it.
"Hey, Dash." "Yes, what?" "Do you find this strangely relaxing?" "Actually, I do. The winds are so calm here, and the sky is so clear. Makes you want to take a nap." "You know, we should. The last few days were pretty hectic for us." "You got that right. Hey, I see a puffy cloud up ahead. That would be perfect to lounge on."
She sped up and landed on it, sighing in relief.
"Just right. Got room for one more?" "Sure do."
She scoots over for him to sit next to her.
"First pony to wake up has to wake the other. Deal."
They shook on it before going to sleep. Applejack and Spike found themselves walking on a road leading up to an area full of apple orchards. Applejack exclaimed, "Oh, wait! This is a lot more than what's in our garden back home."
"It goes on for miles and miles,"
proclaimed Spike. Then he notices she had something in her eye. Applejack? Are you okay?" "Sorry." She wiped her eye. "It's just so beautiful." He gave her a small smile and patted her back. That one touch made her body heat up and start clenching her teeth, holding back the words she wanted to say to him, and scolding herself, "Not yet! Not until I know for sure he loves me!" Spike's own thoughts were preventing him from speaking from the heart. She seems so distant from me. I want to tell her, but what if she doesn't feel that way to me? And our friendship could be ruined. Suddenly, they heard a thump and went to go see what it was. Nearby was a big red stallion, using his hind legs to buck apples into buckets. His face was sweating from the hardship, but he didn't care. "Hi there!" Applejack came up to him. "What's your name?" The stallion answered, "Big Mac." "Well, howdy, Big Mac. I'm Applejack, and this is Spike." Spike gave a friendly grin and wave.
"Do you need help?"
Big Mac asked. "No, but it looks like you could use the help. How about it?" Big Mac looked over at the rest of the trees that needed bucking. He turned back to them and replied,
"Yep."
"Alrighty then. Tell us what we have to do, and we'll get it done."
"Yep,"
he said before telling them their instructions. Luna paced back and forth outside of her sister's throne room, figuring out how she was going to tell Celestia that she had seen her nieces being with other stallions than princes, without giving away the fact that they were already deeply in love. But then the door opened of Kibiz going out with a stack of papers. Luna peeked her head in, seeing her sister was magically signing a few more scrolls.
"Looks like she's still busy. I can come back later."
She turned to go, but was stopped when a wise voice spoke. "Luna?" "Drat," she thought with a grimace, and slowly turned to face her towering sister. "I didn't expect you to be up this early before going to your night duties."
"I couldn't sleep," Luna replied quickly.
"Well then, come in."
"But if you're busy, I can just—"
"On the contrary," she said as she signed the last scroll. "I had just finished." Luna gulped.
"So you have?"
"Luna, you seem troubled. Are you
keeping something from me?" "Keeping something? Why, whatever do you mean?"
She batted her eyes innocently. "Okay, something is clearly up." Celeste's eyes slitted at her sister and spoke in a low tone. "What is going on?" The Princess of the Night gulped again and sweat rolled down her brow. She crouched down and covers her eyes with her hooves, shouting out, "Your daughters are in love! All of them!" There was silence before Celestia yelled, "What? No!" "It's true. I saw them last night in the underground kingdom we created for them. They had brought along the ones that hold their hearts with them." "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" she demanded. "I wanted to, but they deserve to live in happiness. I couldn't just take that away from them." "As noble as your intentions were, but that doesn't change the fact that they are in greater danger now than they were before." "I know. I'm sorry." "Which is why we must hurry to get them away from here. Once they are separated, that should stop the Changeling Queen from tracking them down, and won't be able to reach any of them." "Understood, sister." She lowered her head in sadness. Celestia called for a nearby guard, saying, "Have my daughters brought to me at once." The guard bowed. "Yes, your highness," and he rushed out of there. But when he came back 10 minutes later with a couple of other guards, they bowed before their majesties while giving bad news. "We can't find the princesses, my queen." Celestia gasped in terror and immediately said, "Then find them! Find them at once! Search everywhere if you must!" "Yes, your majesty," they responded, and galloped out to alert the other royal guards and begin searching for the princess.